one of the most bizarre things that will happen to a person has happened in Nigeria, Nollywood, and it has actually hit the entire African continent. And I think I want to talk about is how the story unfolded and how it has ended so far. It's very bizarre. Like it exposes Africa in so many ways that you cannot even think about it. There's this gentleman called Junior Pope, who is a Nollywood actor. And we were there and we saw a video of him circulating. People say that, oh, he's dead. In fact, all the credible sources that you know made a publication saying the guy was dead because of the video that came with it. And mostly because of the fact that the body or the person was taken to the mortuary. And for anybody that knows the order of things, you know that once somebody ends up at the mortuary, it is assumed that the person is dead. It is very rare, in rare cases, that you see that somebody has been sent to the mortuary and has been returned home because they were not there. So I do not fault any. In fact, that is why professional and very credible sources like City, BBC, Pidgin will actually make a post saying that the guy was dead, because mortuary is the last stop, and we don't take people to mortuary for revival. It is the hospital. So once you skip that process and you get to the mortuary, it is presumed that the person is dead until reasonable doubt. And so I when I see people trying to make it look like you don't do your research, you are fake. No, this is not that kind of story. This is not it. And I've seen certain bloggers trying to claim their point with that. This is not that kind of story. Once somebody reaches the mortuary level or the morgue level, that is not where you say, oh, the person is probably dead or alive. That is not a 50-50 coin. It is usually, in fact, it's a 99.999% that the person is at the other side. But we are very also excited that it did not end that way. And the conversation started where we saw, as I said, the video was posted of him. Apparently, they were shooting on a riverside, a show at a riverside, and they were crossing to the other side of the set, and something happened. The boat capsized. Somebody on Twitter said that I didn't mention it, or I said capsided, but I said it's capsized. The boat capsized, and then not just him, other lives were lost in the process. But for him, he was fortunate. After he was sent to the hospital, and then the doctors realized that in fact, when he was sent to the morgue, they realized he was alive, so they had to take him to the hospital. And then after hours of struggling for his life, unfortunately, he passed. And I think as the story unfolded, the issue was that at the place where he drowned, instead of taking him to the hospital straight, they took him to a ritualist or a herbalist or those kind of people, those traditional medicine practices. Instead of somebody that had been drowned, instead of taking him to the hospital, that is where they took the person. And a lot of people were saying that, oh, it's about negligence. And when even the people were brought out of the river, instead of them rushing them to the hospital, it looks like everybody was creating content with it. People were surrounding them. So, I mean, a lot of things could have been done to save them. And as I said, it exposes Africa in a very bad way. Obviously, clearly, you can see that the reason the people resorted to a herbal medicine instead of going to the hospital could be that is the nearest thing to a health practitioner they have in that space that they have, and that is a truth that no one wants to understand. Maybe that is in their wherever the thing happened, that the people there, that is their first form of first aid. Actually, that could be their first form of first aid before even a hospital comes in after, if they think that something has gone past it. And besides, Africans, it is we that we are living in open cities that we feel we are advanced. Most of them, they consider this drowning and those kind of things very spiritual, and their first point of call is try to seek for spiritual help before the other thing. So that is very typical. Also to say that the place where the thing happened, you can see that there is no safety measures put in place. It is just boys in the area who have skills on the water that are holding people's life in their hands. And per some recordings that came out, you can see it's like they've made an entire business out of it. So the person that is putting you on the boat or canoe, instead of providing you with a life jacket, that has become another person's business. And to me, I think the only person that we can blame in this entire thing is the movie director or the producers of the movie that did not ensure that whichever cast that was going to be on that water to come on their set was going to be protected in their way, or was going to be there was going to be health practitioners at the every side of at the banks of the is it beach or the river, just to ensure that if there's anything happening, there are lifeguards on standby to ensure that should anything happen, if they were on set around the river, somebody could be saved with immediacy, or someone who knew how to perform CPR would be on standby. First aid, in fact, first aid is one of the things that if a lot of Africans die because most of us do not know how to give first aid when people are in need. In fact, not just first aid, the appropriate first aid when needed. And clearly, I think that was a lack on the side of the producers of that show. I hear the show is called The Other Side, and the producer and the director of it is Adama Luke. That is one of the biggest problem, because even if the people in the place where the River Niger, where the thing was happened, are sort of experts of using that means of transport, your characters and your actors were not. And mind you, these are not just ordinary people, these are celebrities. So the least you could have done was to ensure that there are practitioners that could dive in, have the right resources to save them in the break of time, or even if something had happened, there was an expert but all of that was ignored. And that goes to show the length of the length of risk actors put their lives in to get what we see on screen. I mean, this thing is not even just Africa. We're in Ghana, and we had Fast and Furious. He too, in the process of movie, sort of preparing for movie, he also crashed and died. These things happen, but some of them are very preventable, and even when it happens, per the structures that are in place, some of the issues could be saved. And I think one conversation that I've seen going out so much was after he recovered, or after there was an indication of life, there was this conversation where they were trying to backlash Mohbad, the dead Nigerian actor and musician father. And I keep saying that on social media, everybody thinks they are the wisest than everybody's father who is in their house. And that comparison was so unnecessary. And it just broke my heart to see that happen. The fact that you're on social media and you think you know what's right doesn't mean you have sense than the parents that we have at home and what they also know and what they learn. But of course, social media has empowered us. We think we have sense than everybody. But that conversation was one of the things that broke my heart the most. But most especially, the Actors Guild of Nigeria, they've stepped in and they are saying that films will not be shot, that film should be halted. Films that are being shot around water bodies and riverside should also be halted. And they are taking the 11th of April, all actors should cease shooting just to, mourn their brother. And I think they are going to refill the producer or the director of that show. And unfortunately, after hours of struggling, the gentleman passed. So rest in peace to him, and condolences to his family, his friends, the Nollywood industry. Charlie, Nollywood has seen lives going this year, and it's been crazy, and I'm very, very sad that this happened. So our condolences to everybody. Now, moving on to the next phase of this conversation, Sallafest is happening, and Sallafest by Baba Sadiq happens at Abeka. Today is Eid Mubarak, and surely people in Fadama knows that there is going to be something for them. And this time, Kwame Eugene is not going to be there. I asked Baba Sadiq. Baba Sadiq said he's not going to be there because he's recovering. Remember, he got into an accident and he's recovering, and he's currently under the canopy of the Lord and all of that. But he's saying that Kwame Eugene might probably join them virtually with a message. Of course, these are his people, and so this time, that in his time of need, I'm sure the least he can do to be with them and to ensure them that he's there for them, I think he will do. And I'm very excited for that. But one thing I'm also excited about is the fact that Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy and Kim Promise and Wendy Shea, among other artists, will be performing at this event. And to me, I'm very excited because aside Assassin Sound Clash and the All African Games, the next thing we are going to see is the next time we are going to see someone like Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale on the same platform will be this event, unless of course there's been an event that I don't remember, or there was done a private event. But this is what we are going to see, and I'm very, very excited because I remember not long ago there was a certain conversation, Ghana DJs Awards, where they were saying that they wanted to book both Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy, and there was this directive from Ghana police saying that the two of them could not be on the same platform without further involving the police for for things to be put in place to ensure that. But to say that the two of them are on the same platform means that that thing has been resolved, or the necessary thing that had to be done to ensure the safety of everybody has actually been put in place. So I know this is going to be a good show. I know that this is not about fan base, it's not about Shatta, it's not about Stonebwoy, it's not about whatever they feel for each other. It's about the fact that these people have gone through a moment of preservation and prayer and sort of fasting. They are done. They are coming to celebrate. It's not now that people are going to use this as a stomping ground for anybody. No. So I know this is going to be a good time. I'm sure they are all the artists going. Their final goal is to entertain the people and to celebrate their sacred day with them. So I know this is going to be a very beautiful time. I know, obviously, as I am saying, doesn't mean it to happen that way. Fans will be excited. I see people trying to do comparison on there. Some are throwing jab. It is all natural. It's all the things that spices the conversation. But I know on their grounds, it's going to be a very beautiful event. Very, very beautiful. I know Stonebwoy will spoil there, but I also know that Shatta Wale has big back-to-back hits. That's a bit of a drop PBI. It will be fire over there. I know when the share has that power on stage. I also know that can promise una cool apena call me later. How did you? Yes, I would have been there. But all the same, I just can't wait to see what happens tonight. Now Liwin is throwing some shades to Coach Sheldon and his team after they did a review of the trailer of a country called Ghana, and they said something about, one of them was like, as the trailer and any dark kakra, and we're talking about post-production and what goes into it and how that affects the production quality that comes out and all of that. And Liwin has sent a rebuttal, and you know how it goes. But first of all, there's this thing that I want to say, and I hope everybody listening takes it in good faith. When it comes to things like movies, nobody cares about the process. The only thing people use to judge is the product, the end result. Let me say it again. When it comes to movies, nobody cares about how much you spent, who you flew from other countries to other country, who you collaborated with. Those are all conversations that goes in favor of the producers and the marketing team and of the production. But that does not affect anybody's opinion about the movie. It doesn't. If it is about how much you have spent and who you have, Nanka J-Lo will not be under a fire on social media after producing a show worth $20 million with her own money. Now, people would just say, as long as she used her own money, she used $20 million, it is okay, it is enough. In fact, that show was star-studded than any show that I've seen. But even that, she's been trolled and the show has taken a nosedive because when it comes to movies, nobody rewards process or effort. We actually reward the product. So even if you put 100 billion as a product, but because you have brought people in, it is the first time you have brought this in, you have brought that in, so the end result that people will look to judge, it has to score 100, or we have to say it's good because you did a job behind the scenes. It is not done. Ghana, Hannah. So I mean, I understand. Yes, for an industry like ours that is going down, any effort that is put in to ensure that the industry is up should be appreciated. That I don't think anybody has disputed that. Everybody, even me on PCFM, on every platform that I've gotten, I have picked Liwin up to give him the fame. And same way he was saying in his video, ministers and big people have reached out to him to say he's doing well. But it doesn't take away the fact that if the product comes out, whether in the form of a trailer or the video itself, that is what we are going to use to judge the quality that came out. It is not. So please, anybody watching, just clear your mind of that thing. If not, Nanka, every movie that has come out of Hollywood that had big budget would have seen automatic success, but most of them do not, because the end product, for movies, the end justifies the means. You get it? So now, Yes, he talked about comparing the American movies to African movies. I understand, I get all of that, but I just want you to know that anybody, in fact, movie, music, and those creative pieces, they are very subjective to everybody that watches it. Me and you, that same yellow movie that I'm saying that most of the internet hates, there are a lot of people. So there are people coded that they say they like it. So it is very subjective, but it doesn't mean that the fact that what boka you have done this, you have done that, doesn't mean that everybody will like what you have done. Or it doesn't also mean that because you have spent money, you have brought people in, it is your first time. Nobody cares that it's your first time. You said you will do it and you are doing it. And you don't make it look like they are trying to spoil your business. They are not spoiling your business in any way. In any case, this whole movie thing, this especially a country called Ghana, has been shrouded in so many controversies from Matankuma and co. So what again can break you? In fact, I'm even thinking that this could possibly be one of the conversations to keep the hype of the movie up, because after the trailer dropped, it looks like the hype has dropped completely, and this might probably spark it. The whole Matankoma and the actors coming in, that was one of the things that was keeping the conversation going. It has dropped. So I'm hoping you will see this as a way of reviving the hype around it, rather than making it look like there's something wrong by sharing their opinion on it. That you can't take it away from them. So these are the big stories that have been trending. Do subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon, and if there's anything you have to do it now. Eid Mubarak to all of you. Love you so much. The Muslim brothers and friends that I have, I really love you. I appreciate that you are here. So thanks for watching. Mwah.